Hi guys, so today I'll be doing an Fmod demonstration on my track called Freezing Flame. In this interactive music demo, there will be 3 tracks playing, each fading in and out depending on the current game state. The first track is played during the preparation phase. This is when the player decides which character to put on the battlefield, which characters to buy, how much experience point to obtain, refresh the character's shopping list, where do they stand, and what kind of bonus upgrade they want. I called the track Prepare right here. The second track is played during the battle phase. This is when the characters fight the enemy, and you can also look at your opponent's team structure and gather the team's information. I named the track Battle. The third track is a victory stinger that plays when all enemies are defeated. When the track is played, it will choose one of the two depending on the intensity scale that is shown right here. When the intensity is below 0.5, it plays the Prepare track. When it is over 0.5, it plays the Battle track. For the stinger, it plays when the intensity reaches 0.95, and at that intensity, the battle phase music will fade out and give way to this track. After that, it will resume. Another way to indicate victory is through another parameter check. Here you can see during the normal state nothing happens, but when I switch to enemy killed, the stinger plays. However, the limitation is that the fading in and out of the battle track is not as smooth as the previous one. So this is the first step on how to do an interactive music system depending on the game state. But I reckon we could do a more intricate system. One of the ways to do it is to set conditions on stems instead of the whole track and explore the function of shuffling in Fmod. Here's another demo of how it could be achieved. I'll show how to do it in the percussion section, but it could be applied to every stem you want. Right here I split the percussive instrument into different tracks and I added different conditions to it. For example, bass drum 2 will only play when the intensity is higher than 0.6. Timpani 1 will only play when the intensity is higher than 0.7. I also have another collection of percussion here. Every time the track is played, it randomly chooses one of the tracks according to the probability I set earlier. If you are familiar with WISE, this is essentially the random container. This method is known as vertical remixing, which the shuffle or the randomness occur vertically. Another way to explore the adaptive music system is the horizontal resequencing. Basically, you split the track into small fragments and loop them randomly. Here's a simple example of that. I split the Prepare music into smaller sections, 2 bars each. Notice how the transition isn't as smooth as before because the track's development does not complement each other. And that's one of the limitations of this method. A better way to do it is to have a smaller instrument size or just one texture in a track with a simpler chord progression that changes less frequently. This method works well in 8-bit or synthetic sounds rather than orchestral sounds. That's it for our presentation. Hope you understand more about how interactive music works. Thanks for listening and I'll see you next time.